Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Arshad the Great back with another video, and today we are going over some defensive tips as part of our defensive series. Moving forward, we're going to be playing some more unlimited games and taking some questions and going over some things that you guys may be struggling with, or some things that I struggle with and how I choose to defend them in game. Keeping in mind, every opponent is going to be different on these unlimited runs, but my goal is to help you guys out with some different defensive tactics and strategies you can use to better your game and to win more games. Now, like I said, each video is going to cater to a different style of opponent. So if you would like to see a certain style of player and what recommendations I have to go up against them and what style of defense you should use, make sure you leave that in the comments, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you like videos like this. But let's move on to what we're going to be talking about in this video. Now, the most questions I get in some of the games I play is usually this right here. How do we defend the screen and roll in a 5-out situation? I come up against it a lot, and I know you guys come up against it a lot. And it usually ends like this if you do not have a good defensive possession. An alley-oop right in your face or open three-point attempt, and we don't want that happening. All right, now before we get started and get into the video, I want to go over some quick things. And one thing was my opponent's skill in this game. He was a pretty decent player, about 6.5 out of 10. Not the greatest player, but I do understand why he wins certain games and why he's able to beat certain players. He did have Iggy, so I think he was able to win certain games based on some of the stuff we're going to talk about. But how were we able to be successful this game? No threes. We're going to take away our opponent's strength. We're going to adjust your matchup, create turnovers, know when to switch off ball. That's very important. You can't always play on ball. Know when to switch off ball and have a consistent offense. All of these things we're going to be covering in this video, really based around this opponent and how we chose to stop their pick and roll, but it's going to be different for each person you play because they might be looking for something in particular. This person loved to use the point guard and center and try to either get a drive or an alley-oop. All right, now in all honesty, I thought about skipping this part, but I wouldn't do the video justice if I didn't go over your team selection. And when you're trying to win an unlimited, or if you're trying to win tournaments or anything like that, you have to have good defensive players. You literally have to. So guys like Scottie Pippen, who are cheap, it's pretty good to add to your team. 98 perimeter defense, 82 interior defense. That good balance of interior and perimeter is very important. I have a team full of good defenders, but it's good to have at least 2 or 3 on the court. They're going to help you out. Another good thing is lateral quickness. So Scottie Pippen has that 95 lateral quickness, and again, I'm just using him for example. We got Hall of Fame clamps, Hall of Fame hard crusher, off-ball pest trapper, tireless defender. Then he's going to have intimidator and interceptor and pickpocket, pick dodger, all those things that are super effective on the court. You don't really understand what the badges mean? Let me know in the comments so we can go over those separately. But your whole team needs to have some sort of defense on it. Another great one is Andre Karolinko. He's around a little bit less than 100K right now, but he's going to be able to defend literally every single person or every card on the court, no matter who you're going up against. So I highly recommend picking one of these two up if you have a team that is struggling on defense. Another thing I like is having fast centers to be able to handle the pick and roll. Shaq is not that fast, but he can hold his own in some situations. A free card that you can use is Wayne Embry because he does have good perimeter and interior defense, and he also has great speed, acceleration, strength, and pretty good lateral quickness with great Hall of Fame and gold badges. But let's jump into the settings that I usually use when I'm going into any kind of unlimited game, what I usually start off with before I switch. So we're going on ball tight, off ball pressure is going to be tight. Sometimes I use smother, so it depends on who I'm playing. So smother or tight. On ball screens, we're going over. Screens with the center, we're going over. We're going to catch hedge both. Now this is what I start off with. I might switch it based on what's happening in the game. Then we're going to make sure we have our drive help turned off. I don't like to be able to have the CPU helping for me. I want to be able to do that myself and rotate on my own, which we'll talk about. And then we are going to go no threes for a transition so that our team stops the three-point line and transition. We already talked about no threes. That's a huge thing to winning games. You do not want to be giving up a lot of threes. Then you take off your adaptive coaching engine because that is going to switch stuff up for you. And if you want to do things manually, you don't want that switching. Okay, so here's the team we went up against first. We got Baron Davis, Jaylen Brown, Wayne Embry, Blake Griffin, and Paul George. He was coming out ready to play. And once I went into Shaq, I always start my games off with Shaq, see how they're going to defend me. We get a bucket inside off the putback, and he calls timeout, and then goes into settings and does stuff like that. So I was like, okay, this guy is really gonna want to play. This is when I chose to really start making this video, because I knew that I was gonna play somebody that actually was trying to win. I don't want to make videos against people that you're just gonna beat easily every single time. So every time I make one of these videos, it's gonna be against a game that was somewhat competitive, not the most comp game, but somewhat competitive. So as soon as he comes to the court, first thing he does is pick and roll alley-oop, and I should have defended it better, but okay, we come down the court, we get our basket. So in the second possession, I noticed the pattern right away. He's going Baron Davis pick and roll again. He's always going pick and roll to either the center or power forward. So I start to adjust a little bit, and we'll go over this real quick on what I did here to switch up and make him pass the ball. Although he still scored, check out exactly what happened and why. So this is the first tip I'm going to give you guys. The hard hedge right here. When I'm hedging out with Paul George and disrupting his driving lane, this is a hard hedge. I'm going to make him take a different route and not go directly off of Wayne Embry. But what this leaves open is the slip. So now Wayne Embry can probably get to the basket on the roll. My goal is to not let Baron Davis get any threes, so I'm not going to let him turn the corner, right? We did that. Second thing, we are going to rotate and show middle. This is very important to take away that roll. Of course, Paul George is now open, but I'm still on Shaq, so I can get out there for the shot. I know he's going to kick it out to Paul George. The first mistake I made is not getting there in time for this steal. That should have been my steal, should have been easy. So I overplayed it, my mistake. But what I didn't want to happen was a three, and that's exactly how I wanted this possession to go. Get the ball out of Baron Davis's hands, because he wants to pick and roll every single play. And if you remember from the beginning of the video, it was one of our rules. We are not giving up threes, as Shaq slams it down there, but we don't want to give up threes. Giving up threes is a fast way to lose an unlimited, especially against somebody that likes to pick and roll with the point guard. So let's go to tip number 2. Now we're going to be shading him up and down the court with the center if I'm not pressing, just to make sure he doesn't get a direct line to the basket, or that he's able to just comfortably come up the court. I just want to make him a little bit uncomfortable, make him pass the ball, because he wants the ball in Baron Davis's hands and he wants to call that screen and roll. So now he's got 11 seconds left and he goes to his screen and roll again. And look, this is why we hard hedge. Look at the direction Paul George is facing, and he's running backwards because I took away his driving lane. Now I switch over and cover the middle with Karolinko. Paul George and Shaq recovered to their men. I switch back to Paul George, and now I can contest the shot myself, and we get our first stop. This is a possession ball game. We want more possessions than our opponent, because obviously the more possessions you have and the more shots you take, the better chance you have to win, right? All right, so now on this possession, we're going to be talking about another screen defense tip, which is the pinch middle. I'm utilizing Eddie Jones on the wing, and I'm pinching towards the middle to take away the driving lane. Shaq is secure in the middle as well, but I have enough room and enough space to get back or steal a pass out to Jaylen Brown, and I can go contest the shot. So that's what the pinch middle is. You can also get a bump still doing this. So he tries to go middle, no threes coming out here. I'm taking away the three-point shot to Jaylen Brown, but I also took away the three-point shot from Dwayne Wade. Now, we didn't get the rebound, but it was a great possession because we forced him into tougher shots than he wanted to take. We didn't get what we wanted to happen exactly. The algorithm kind of killed us with rebounds. He did get a three eventually, but it wasn't the way he wanted to get it, and that's the key. Now, when we're running our offense, it is not nearly as hard for us to score. We're just coming up and we're able to score easily, and we're getting our points easy. So the points are going to start pulling away. This is what I mean by consistent offense. All right, now on this play, you can see I'm a little out of position with my Dwayne Wade here. So I'm going to take Shaq and I'm going to rotate just to cut that driving lane off, see where he stops. And now we get a nice little double team to cause another turnover. If I didn't rotate right there with Shaq, he would have been able to have a nice lane to the basket because I overplayed the steal with Dwayne Wade. Okay, no surprise here. He's calling another screen, and I actually did not hedge hard enough with Shaq. See how he's able to get right by me? I should have sprinted towards the out of bounds line to try to get a bump steal and cut him off more. So he's able to get by me, and now we have to recover. This is crucial because he has a direct line to the basket. How do we recover? Bing, right here. Andre Karolinko. We are going to switch quickly and make him make a decision. You're going to see Shaq's able to get back in time, Wade recovers, and my job is to stop his drive and make him kick it back out. And that's what we're going to do. That's our job with Karolinko. So we're going to come up the line. As you can see, we're going to come up the line, stop his drive. And now check out the situation he's in. He can't pass to the corner because I can get out there. Wayne Embry's covered, and Dwayne Wade is locked up right now too. So he has to either kick it back out or he can't proceed. There's no way he can go. And those of you guys that preach on ball or die, there's literally no way you can make this happen if you stayed on ball with Shaq that whole time. So right here, he tries to kick it back out to Blake Griffin. He takes a horrible shot, and there is another stop for us on a decent pick and roll defensive possession. Even though we broke down in defense, we rotated and we got back. That's why rotation is so important. All right, so he ends up calling timeout after that possession. He's going to put some different players in the game, but he still tries to run the same things when he comes back out. So he's got Kevin Garnett and Andre Iguodala in the game now with Dwayne Wade instead of Baron Davis. He calls the screen again. We actually played the screen perfectly this time. I faked the hedge, and then I get back to KG, and I make the silly mistake of jumping at Dwayne Wade instead of just keeping my hands up. If I keep my hands up right there, that possession is broken and he wouldn't have been able to score. So my mistake right there, do not jump. Just keep your hands up. Using the right stick and the defensive possession would have been fine. Okay, so right here, he tries to drive hard to the basket, and check it out. What do we do just now? Quick switch to Eddie Jones, pinched over to the middle, take away that driving lane. He's gonna think that his shooting guard is open. Now we have time to get back to our man. Dwayne Wade recovers, we force a bad shot, and that is another stop, another good possession for us, and we're able to end the quarter 9-14. So we're up 5 points. If this happens for 4 quarters, that is a 20-point win. So as long as we keep this up for 4 quarters, we are good. Okay, now we're in the second quarter. He comes to the court, and the first thing he does is go right back to that pick and roll. And of course, it worked again. You know, it shouldn't have worked again, but it worked again. All right, but it's cool. We came to the court. We got Shaq another dunk, and we're gonna go right ahead. And I wasn't gonna let that happen no more. I went ahead, fouled them, and now we're gonna call timeout, and we're gonna go put our bench in, and now we're gonna get into adapting. You win more games when you're able to adapt and adjust. So we started, you know, the hedging and stuff like that, but now we're completely going to take this pick and roll away because it's literally all he was doing to score. So we're going to sub the bench unit in. We got, you know, Curry, Pippen, Bird, Aaron Gordon, and Anthony Davis, but we're not going to stop there. We're going to go over to our matchups because I don't want Stephen Curry defending Dwayne Wade. We're going to put Scottie Pippen on Dwayne Wade. We're going to put Stephen Curry on Andre Iguodala or Cam Reddish. Whoever is, I think, is just going to stand and be the shooter. Either one of those is going to be fine. And the magic here is going to be putting Larry Bird on his center. Why? Because both Scottie Pippen and Larry Bird have good perimeter and interior defense. And it's going to create a better situation if I chose to switch my screen. So I went over to defensive settings just to make sure that my matchups were set up. They actually did reset. I don't know why. So we're going to set the matchups again. Make sure everybody's on who I want them to be on. I want Stephen Curry on Cam Reddish. I want Larry Bird on Kevin Garnett. And I want Scottie Pippen on Dwayne Wade so that we can get that switch. Just in case they both have interior and good perimeter defense, I'll be able to defend anybody on the court. Now we're going to go over to Dwayne Wade. And anytime a screen is set for him, it is going to create a switch, and anytime a center sets a screen for him, it is going to be a switch. So now everybody on the court is just going to be able to switch on these damn screens so that we can make sure he is not getting what he wants. Now again, this is only specific to this person I was playing. I would not do this against everyone, but just based on his style, I wanted to do this against him. So right here, we're manning up with Scottie Pippen. Now he tries to set the screen. We switch it, and there is nowhere to go, and he makes a terrible pass, turns it over, and we're off to the races. Of course, Larry Bird does not hit that fast break, but it's okay. We get the rebound with Aaron Gordon. Easy buckets, and now we push the lead up just a little bit more. He comes to the court again. He's going to try the same style of offense. We get a switch once again. He has nowhere to go. Nothing that he can do, and he's going to continue to keep trying the same thing over and over. This time we should have gotten a steal, and he gets lucky, but it's okay. We will take those kind of possessions. We come down, we get a 3. Now the lead is 6. He's starting to get into desperation mode. It's pulling away. He's not able to stop us as easy as I'm able to stop him, especially now that we got this switch going and he noticed that we're pulling away. Right here, we get another switch. There's nowhere for him to go. He tries to get it back to Dwayne Wade, passes it right to my hands because I know he wants to go back to the point guard. We're up 7 now. He goes to a zone to try to stop our offense, but we got Steph Curry out there, and that is not going to work because he is going to green that all day. So now we are up 10. We're in no man's land now. He has not been down this much all game. I don't think he thinks he's going to be able to come back at all. What is he going to go to again? He's trying to call a screen. There's nowhere for him to go. He calls timeout. He has to get some subs in. but I'm not going to show that full part. Just know that I made the same matchup changes for his bench that I did with the starters, just so that we can make sure that we're defending the screen the same way, and the same exact thing happens. He gets flustered. There's nowhere for him to go. He tries to get it back to the point guard. We get another steal, and now we are really being disrespectful. Aaron Gordon with a nice dunk puts us up 11 points, and look at this stat. 6 turnovers and 12 points over turnovers, and we are up 11. So every turnover we're getting is important. Consistency of offense, creating turnovers. We went over those rules. Again, he's trying to go to that screen and roll. He is tossing the ball into anywhere now because he can't get it where he wants to go. We're taking away his strengths. Take away strengths, create turnovers, consistent offense, no threes. All the rules that we had at the start of the game came right into play. Every single possession mattered, and what that led to, our opponent leaving the game. They didn't want to take any more of that. They knew that they were going to lose it. There was no way that they were going to get off what they wanted to, and we went home with another W. I'm really hoping this video helped you guys out. That was just a video against a specific type of player. I'm going to have more of these coming out soon. Just give me some ideas of what you want to see, and if I come across an unlimited game, I'll be sure to capture the footage and we can talk about it. But until next time, I will catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We are on the road to 10,000 subs. I appreciate you as always. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Oh yeah, make sure you follow me on Twitter, everydayRCA. Peace.